thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. Now, if you have not yet, please consider subscribing because that helps us so much get this podcast out there, gets it on discovery pages, gets more people involved. And as a result, that means we can get bigger productions, bigger guests on the show. We can do more and get the people you want to see on this show. And with that as well, if you want to have someone in particular that you think we should interview, get on Kingdom Creatives, please consider following us on Instagram, drop a comment, send us a DM, and just get in contact with us. Thanks, guys.
The Kingdom Creatives Podcast.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Creators Podcast. My name's Sam. This is my friend Josh.
Hello.
And we are doing a very special episode today. I'm excited about this one, but I do want to preface this one by saying if you haven't gone back to the previous episodes, episode 1 and 2, we go into the vision, the mission, how this whole thing came about, the stories. I think it was one in here and then one while we're playing I think.
Yeah, in the States.
In the US, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to know more vision in depth, there's like hour and a half of just what Kingdom Creatives, what's on our hearts. This is probably a bit more
practical.
Yeah, practical.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yep. So today we are going to go into a little bit of a role play. I think we're going to have some fun with it, but we are going to, we get questions all the time as we've launched out on this venture. What is Kingdom Creators? Is it a podcast? Is it what do you guys do? I mean,
technically, yes.
Well, yeah, I guess it is. Kingdom Creatives is a lot of things. So we figured let's come up with 10 or so of the most prevalent or important questions that we get asked.
And we found some of these questions also in our DMs, people messaging us.
Yep. So we thought we'd answer some of them.
So hopefully this will, if you have a question, cover that.
So we have written them all down. We put them all. I've got my laptop today.
Let's do it.
We've written them all down, and I think we just dive straight into it. We've got our producer, Sean. He's going to be the one asking the questions, kind of like, he's the pastor or the creative person in the role.
Yep.
And he's going to take on that persona today, and then we're just going to answer them as we can and bounce off each other, share stories, and have fun. So if you have been someone listening and watching, and I know we've got a lot of DMs and people that are watching all around the world, welcome back. And if you had any explicit questions of what this is, I think they will get answered today. But I do want to say, if they don't, please DM us, email, and we will endeavor to get back to you. So, Sean, let's fire away with the first question.
Hey, guys. Question 1.
Hey, Sean.
It's like, who's the voice?
Yeah, it's like, hey, guys. Yeah. If you're watching this, you can't see him, but he is here somewhere.
He's a real human.
Yeah,
Sean.
I'm hiding.
Yeah.
Question 1. What exactly is Kingdom Creatives, and how do you serve churches and non-for-profits? How do your services support the mission of spreading the gospel?
Love it.
Well, firstly, I think in the simplest form, Kingdom Creatives is a creative agency for churches and not-for-profits.
Yes.
Now, what does that mean? 1,000 things. Primarily, we are a creative services agency that want to do videos, photos, website, campaigns, promotional packages, anything creative media you can think of, we've got it. Yep. And we want to do that for your church. And we want to do it to a standard that is at the best possible standard that we can do. At industry, top of the line, you're getting the best possible service. How would you?
Yeah, it's like agency for church is really good. And it's not also, I think a lot of people get confused of like, are we excluding some churches to other churches? It's like we will facilitate and work with any size church.
And any denomination.
Yeah, it's true. So it's like if you just need Sunday slides for your service, you know what I mean? We can help facilitate that. Or if you need a big launch video, we can help facilitate.
Youth camps coming up, promotional package.
It's like, but it's like, yeah, I think there's some people are thinking like, oh, is that just for bigger churches or certain churches? But we want to work with all sizes.
Yes, 100%.
With any need, we want to partner along and help you with whatever capacity that may look like.
100%. I think on another practical level, we also have the mentorship program, which there's some questions down here about the mentorship program, but overarching really our heart is that we can bring creatives in your church along with us on the journey. We've got obviously Kingdom Creators, but the other side is Acta Media. That's where we're all kind of born out from, and that's our main business. And Acta Media really exists to serve large corporate clients. We're doing documentaries, TV ads. We want to do a short film potentially. I know that's something that's on your heart, Josh. And so we want the mentorship program to be, give access to creatives in the church to something bigger, grander, larger, something that they're like, I'd always, love to be a part of shooting a film, or what is it like to really film a documentary? What is it all glitz and glamour? No, it's not. But we want to provide a space that is outside and expands your creative vision on what you can do, and on big budgets, what money gives you, big crews, whatever it is. And so I think the mentorship program I'm really excited about. We'll go into that. There is some more questions soon, so stay tuned. But a part of the packages are we want to invest back into the church, because as you and I have shared, Josh, a lot, you and I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the church.
No, not at all.
It's the whole reason we do this. People believed in us, and I know that this is a way that we can give back to the church.
It's so true. And I think also a part of that, something like the Jokers is this podcast. It is a podcast, like we've said, and what that is something that we've seen, that we're just trying to create this new space almost for creatives and also anyone involved in that space at all, which is like, it'll always be free. It'll always be here. We're really committed to it. We don't make any money from it. We're traveling. We're trying to find
the podcast.
Yeah. We don't make any money from the podcast.
But if you do want to sponsor it, let us know.
Feel free.
We could put some things in the products in the background. Hey, actually, speaking of products, what have we got here, Josh?
These are mystery packages.
These are our exclusive Kingdom Creators first drop packages for... Who is it for? I mean, it's for we really want to bless some churches. Some
They're
people,
kind of like gifts almost.
Gift packs. We've got about 25 of them, and we've handed our first one out last week to a podcast guest, and we just want to. It's full with goodies, but I just love. I mean, these boxes are beautiful. On the top it says, "Creative freedom and enlivened by the gospel is not about doing whatever you want, but about wanting to do what God made you to do." Deep quote, could say it 5 times and we could think about it over and over. Obviously, Kingdom Creatives, quality designs, goods for the kingdom. I love that. One side it says, "Will be done."
Whoa.
Other side it says, "Kingdom come."
Let's go.
And then, just got our website on the back and the logo on top. I just love these boxes. They're quality. They're awesome. And they will be going out very soon. So if you want one, you're listening, you want a box. I'm not promising anything, but if you want one.
We're running a giveaway.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to give one away.
Yeah, so share this podcast right now to your stories. If you tag us, you may get a box.
There's stuff in it. There may or may not be the shirt you're wearing in it.
Yes, that's right. Kingdom Come, Kingdom Creators first drop. Look, guys, this is all a very new initiative for us, and so we're trying to just try different things and see what we want to do and have some fun with it. So anyway, that's why these are here. I just wanted to show you that. All right, next question, Sean.
Here we go. No, these are great, Sean. You're doing great.
Yeah, well, actually,
Sean.
yeah. Hey, round of applause for Sean.
You
Well
did
done,
just call
Shawnee.
me John a second ago.
Yes, that's right.
Sean's a day oneer, isn't he?
He is. He's a
day
full
oneer
Kingdom
for the
Creative
potty.
day one.
All right, question 2. What inspired you to start Kingdom Creatives, and how does your faith influence the way you approach creative projects?
Love that. Like we've said, whole episodes as well.
There are
About
massive
this.
whole episodes on this. Yeah,
But I think
episode 1 and 2. If you want to know the real deep dive, we do go into it. But Josh, what do you think?
But something that I've been quite passionate about and talking about with other guests as well is I very much feel that, creatives and like the gift of creativity, if you will, is one of the greatest evangelistic tools we have. And as the centuries and years have gone on, it's like it is so easy to share the gospel and use our gifts to spread the message. And really that's like the whole heart of this thing. You know what I mean? It's like to use what we've been blessed with to help others, to bring a community together, to bring people together and actually help inspire someone. Like it might even be through us doing this work that another church just sees what we're doing and is inspired by it to create more, or a creative has something sparked up in them to go forth and create things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think 100% agree. Firstly, it was born out of prayer. This whole thing that we're doing is, a God experience that we both had independently and then kind of came together and went, this is what we need to do. Did we need to do this? Probably not. Like we were good, but we really feel the call of God to do this. We know that the Spirit is on it. So firstly, to preface it, that's why we're doing it. I think also though, and I've written a few things down just in preparation. You and I come from ministry backgrounds different. I was, a pastor in a church. You were a creative lead. You ran a big creative team. And I think the commonality between the two was that we struggled balancing the ministry side with the creative demands, and we're just talking with John Cameron a few weeks ago and he goes, sometimes the flyer just needs to go out, sometimes it just needs to go out. Sometimes pastors need to understand, hey, this creative process takes a bit longer. And so I think we've kind of identified that struggle. and the balance between ministry and creative demands. And I think that we can help creatives balance better, and we can help bring them along the journey and build them up and mentor them. But we can also help educate pastors on, what this actually takes and actually looking after your creatives and all that kind of thing. By no means are we the experts coming in to tell you what to do. I think it's partners coming together to go, hey, let's do this. Like like the Aaron and her, lift up that, the arms. And so on a practical level, we just saw that and went, we could help here. We can use our gift to help the kingdom, and also just gaps that I see in churches all over. I'm friends with a lot of pastors all over the world now, and a big gap is like we don't have anyone who's creative, and their first thought is not, let's go to an agency, because typically agencies is for big budget, worldly kind of agencies.
Definitely not for the church.
Not for the church. I don't know of a dedicated agency that is for the church. And so we wanted to go, hey, if that's you and you maybe see somebody in 3 to 5 years who can be your creative person, but you don't have one now, but you have creative demands, here we are. So I think that's another practical one. And then just also, I wrote here, like, our faith drives everything we do. And obviously, like, Arcta Media, again, it's the Lord's business. Kingdom Creators, it's the Lord's business. I say this over and over. It's not lip service. I really believe it. And we feel that this is a call from God to glorify his name. And as you said before, man, like, just reach people for him.
I know. I love the image as well. Like, we've even praying into it like that, with the image of holding up Moses' arms with the staff. It's like we are coming in that way, you know what I mean? Like, in a certain type of way. Like the pastor, we're coming in, there's already a vision. Mm-hmm. There's already a goal in mind. There's already something. And we are just simply coming in to help support and execute what has been put in that church's, in that local pastor's heart by God. You know what I mean? This is what that community needs. We have no idea what that is. We don't know what the church is after, but there's visions given to pastors all throughout the nation and the world. And it's like, we're just there simply to partner with them and be like, what is your vision? We want to just bring it to life.
That's right. Yeah, we're not about coming in and trying to change the vision or change things. There might be change, but we're not coming to change things. We really want to empower, uplift, and add to what the Lord's already doing in your church. So great. Awesome. What's the next question, Sean?
Thanks, Sean.
Question number 3. How can Kingdom Creatives help the church, whether it is just starting out or already established, and take their creative efforts to the next level?
Yeah, so this question here was from somebody, and they said, how can Kingdom Creatives help a church like ours? Was the actual question. They're like a small to medium-sized church, say 200 to 300 people on a Sunday, just to give some context behind that. So how can Kingdom Creators help a church like ours, whether we're just starting out or already established, take our creative efforts to the next level? So you got, obviously, throughout this nation and the world, you've got churches that are small and churches that are large, churches that are extra large and extra small, and then everywhere in between. And I think that Kingdom Creatives was built to service anyone on that spectrum. What would you say?
Yep, I would agree. It's like, that's what I was kind of mentioning before. It's like, we're not trying to be like one size fits all. And we also understand that from like our backgrounds, growing up in the church, knowing so much about so many churches. And that's why, like, it's exciting to be like, no, what is your need? Is it as simple as like, I just need a graphic that I'm not doing as the pastor.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like, for my sermons.
How much for one graphic?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that could be it.
Yeah, sure.
Or you might be in a point where you're like, you know what, we have a big vision series coming up, and I just want to, I've always struggled to communicate the vision well. Like, we've always felt like we've just missed the mark, and you're not sure what that is. Is it the quality?
Yeah.
Is it just another idea?
And
Is it
sometimes
some
having
input?
like a group that's a sounding board almost to help you like get to that point. I think sometimes it can become an echo chamber.
Yep.
And it can become like we're bouncing off the same people, or maybe nobody. Maybe it's like just you and you're doing it yourself, which I know is the case in many churches. It's hard to lift your eyes and see outside of that. Even if you're just part of the mentorship program and it's like your monthly check-ins, and again, we're going to go into it, but it's just just to have somebody to bounce off and to give you vision and to maybe pray for you and like just believe that God would give you fresh creative vision again, I think is a game changer.
It's so true. It's like speaking sometimes an idea out loud can make all the difference.
100%. And so, the question was, how can it help a church like ours, whether big or small? Again, as Josh said, we partner with churches, kingdom ministries, not-for-profits, all that kind of thing. And we truly are a partner. We want you to feel like we are part of your team, big, small. We have the resources, and so, for larger churches, we offer comprehensive solutions that, might seem expensive to others, might seem very, full on, might seem like we could never get there. We offer that for churches who are in that space, but we also offer, maybe it's a small church of 50 people and it's the graphic that needs to get done. Man, I'd love for us to come and to bless that church in that way,
It's so true.
Yeah, from top to bottom, we actually have packages. Again, we'll go into the packages soon, but we do have packages that suit every size church, but we also know that, hey, maybe we need to do something custom, so you can talk to us and we can get to know your church. So, all right, so Shawnee, what's question number 4?
We want to engage better with our congregation and the broader community. What kind of content and strategies can you help us with to achieve that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the simple answer is we live in a digital age. So anything you put out has the potential to engage your direct community and your broader community. It really, I guess in my mind, the answer to that question is like depends on your needs and your wants. Some churches just want something directly for them, flyers, printouts, screens, and they're not that big on social media. They don't want to be. That's fine. We would create and tailor our packages toward that. Some churches want a more of an online reach, a next generation reach. They want to put ads out to their local community, like come and join us this Sunday. And that would change the strategy of what we would do. So again, it comes back to, hey, we partner with you. We want to know what your vision is, what your mission is, and how can we create high quality, top quality media that serves your church's story.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think it's like, that's where it also comes a bit more that we've been doing this for a while. And we also value things like the story, you know what I mean? Like everything has something. So there's a big difference between just trying to film a local church member testimony story that's really impactful, but maybe they're a bit shy and they don't want to do it from the platform. So you're like, hey, let's film this because then we can edit it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it a bit more emotive.
There's only 2 people in the room instead of 200 or whatever.
And then it's like, sometimes that doesn't get executed well, but that's something we've done for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like we know how to get the story and we know how to say something with it, because there's a big difference between just recording it and then you've got to say something in the editing as well. And it's like, that's like the whole thing. We've all seen movies, we've all heard songs, there's all music that like captivates your heart. And it's like, that's our real heart behind everything we create, because we understand it's for the kingdom. You know what I mean? It's like, we understand there's actually the content we create, there's a soul on the other end. Yeah. You know, it might not directly be salvation.
Yeah.
It might not directly be like, oh, I now have food on my table. You know what I mean? But we know there's like activation in that. There's seeds planted in that. There's so much that can come from a good piece of media content that I actually believe can change people's lives in the moment or down the road.
Like when I say to you right now, what's a story you watched recently that really impacted you? Bang, you probably got 3 that came to mind. I know I got 3. Like, let's just say you're scrolling through Instagram or whatever and something pops up. A recent one for me was Stream Studios. Friend of mine, Jessie Rose, her story came up and I watched it, and I know her. She's a friend. I heard her story, but it impacted me in a way that I saw her story in a different light, you know?
So true.
And media has a way to do that, you know? And so I think like telling powerful stories is one strategy. I'm big on storytelling because I think through media, it transcends sometimes. You don't even really need to say anything, even just with music and a certain shot. You know, for example, the movie Gladiator, the most impactful shot is the opening scene as he's running his hands along the, everyone remembers it, right? Because it was the mixture of music and emotion. You didn't even really know, at the time, you didn't know anything about the film. But I remember feeling like, oh, like I know this person, you know, just through shot selection, music, and the vibe, the feeling, the emotion, the spirit behind it. So I think having us come and help you do that, I think enriches maybe the stories you've already got or the things that you want to show. So anyway, let's power through. What's the next question, Shawnee boy?
Big Shauno.
How do you ensure the creative content you produce aligns with our church's mission, vision, and culture?
Yeah, I mean, again, this ties into what we're talking about. We truly do partner with you. We truly, practically, you know, you would engage us. We'd come to an agreement on some budget, what you want to spend, what package you want to pick, and then we spend a long time sitting with you. We come in. If you like coffee, we do coffee. We have a tea, whatever you drink, whatever, it doesn't matter. And we actually get to know your church's vision. We want to know what you believe, what your mission is, what you believe God is speaking to you about. And we truly want to partner in with what the Lord is already doing. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like something that comes to mind is like no 2 people are the same, you know? And just like that, there are so many different churches in the world. So, and also something that comes to mind is like what we do is a bit more like tailor-made. it's custom. It's like, I think it's not like you're not subscribing to like a download pack, even though they're useful at times, you know what I mean? Like templates and stuff, but it's like, that's the difference. It's not, you're not paying for something that we're then going to use at like 10 different other churches exactly the same. You're not getting another church's testimony video. You're not getting something else. You know what I mean? It's like, no, what's happening in your church is what you're going to get.
Yeah. I think, practically we'll dive into like audience research with you. And my heart really is to go like, hey, if you're a pastor, your job isn't to know how to do a user journey and to work out audience mapping. That's not your job. That's our job. So my heart is to go, hey, here's what we're going to do, but don't worry about it. We've got it, you know? And so like, as much as we want to, I guess, maybe educate a little bit and kind of stick on the latest trends and all that kind of thing with churches, I think the heart is like, you do what you feel God's called you to do, and that's shepherd the flock. And what we'll do is we'll come in and use our gifts and skills and things that we've developed and sharpened and made over time, and partner with you to do the things we're good at. So audience mapping, user journey, all that kind of stuff, and just regular touch points, you know, like it's not going to be a one and done, here's the invoice, pay it, and then never see us again, you know? And I think that might be the fear of some pastors or people. I know I have that with clients, you know, it's like, where are you going to be once we sign the deal, you know? So practically, we will be there. You know, you'll have our numbers, you'll have our email, you know, you'll have the Discord channels, you'll have the groups. And when we say partner, we truly mean partnering.
Yeah, to the point of like, I think you also like don't need to be scared. Cause I'm like, I've worked with some people before where they've like had the loosest, they just have a feeling that they're trying to capture and they don't know how to explain it. They're like, I just imagine like a horse riding over the mountaintop. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, how are we going to film that? Like, you know what I mean?
Or David with a sling.
Yeah, like there's so many things that it's like, what does that mean? And then other times you might have exactly what you want to the T. You're like, I envision this, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. I need your help to perfect that and bring it together. You know, like, so you can be as detailed as you want.
Yep.
Or you can be like,
run.
Here's the dream.
Yep.
Go. You know what I mean?
You love it. Awesome, man. Okay, I reckon we go to the next question, hey?
Hey guys.
Hey,
Why should we choose Kingdom Creatives over hiring a freelancer or other creative agency?
I would say there's more than one of us.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said to this idea of one person versus a team.
Yes.
So we should talk about it.
Yeah, I think, you go.
Okay, I'll start and then you can go. So obviously, one person's great if you have them full time and you know they're going hard and they're doing the best they can. That's awesome. That's really good. And you're investing in that one person. The problem is, you know, we've all got 2, 5, 10 or 1, 5, 10 talents. You know, we're all given a capacity. We're all given a unique ability to do things a certain way in a certain time frame at a certain quality. When you are one person, you can only do what you can do. Outside of that, with an agency, think about it. You're paying maybe the same amount, but you're getting 10 people. You're getting 15 people, all with unique skills that are balancing things together and bringing it together to make something beautiful. Now, I'm not against hiring. I'm not against freelancers at all. It's not that at all. Our heart is that you will get the full spectrum of the creative suite. You know, your photographers, your web designers, your filmmakers, your voice actors, your musicians. You'll get everything all in one. And I think to be frank, it's a more bang for your buck, in my opinion. What do you think?
No, I definitely agree. 'Cause our team is like, we cover a wide like spectrum of like all the media gifts that you might be desiring in your church. And it's like, if you're looking at like hiring someone or freelancing, most of those people are just going to do one field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you also break it down.
And they might be really good at that field, which is great,
true.
which we all are uniquely good. Everyone in this studio is uniquely good at their things.
Yes.
But we bring them together. That's where the power is.
And if you're trying to hire someone to say do video, you're also trying to hire like a sound engineer, sound recording, a videographer, a cinematographer, a director, a colorist, an editor, a motion graphics specialist. Like, and to be frank, you're not going to, a lot of people, and I'm even talking from my experience, your experience, people we met, they're not going to be good at all of them.
No.
You know what I mean? You might have strengths in some area, but then other areas are going to lack because it's just very hard to be a dedicated specialist in 20 different roles.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
So it's like, that's where it's like, we actually have the broader team that can then also input into those areas when are needed. So if it's like, if you just need graphics, we've got that, you know what I mean? Just for that month or something. It's like, and also that going back and forth. And like, sometimes there's even just something as simple, which I think is overlooked more video, is like when there's text or a graphic getting put in a video, it's like if you got someone that's dedicated to this video, they're just going to slap it in. They're not going to think of like, oh, how can I motion animate this or do this thing? It's like, but we have the team that would then come in and be like, oh, let's facilitate that part of that video and then pass it back to the editor. They keep going.
Yeah. And I think on like an ethos level too, we've walked in your shoes. We've walked in the ministry shoes, you know, on different levels and varying capacities. Everybody who is a team member at Kingdom Creatives has either worked at a church, extremely involved in their church. We're all plugged into the local church. Yes. We have community. We know what it's like, you know, and we get it. And that's hard to get with an agency, you know. And so I think, you know, we've walked in your shoes. We get it. We understand a lot of the you know, the hard things, a lot of the difficult things. And we also understand a lot of the great wins and the what would you say, like the great wins and the great you know, those big corporate moments, the times that you spend as a church and you see, you know, that when that church that's 200 people goes to 1,000, or like that church who hasn't had a building for 10 years and then some breakthrough happens, they get $1 million and buy that. You know, like we want to celebrate in the wins with you as well. True. And we kind of have walked that and been that on varying levels. And so, yeah, I think Kingdom Creatives is very, very unique. Yeah. And it's honestly a joy, and I'm really excited, you know, to continue being a part of that.
That's why we put Kingdom Come everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Like what's our heart and desire? It's actually to see His kingdom come to earth.
100%.
You know what I mean? His will be done. Like we put it everywhere. It's something we say all the time about it because it's like we believe in it, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
For your church.
100%.
For the local church, for the greater church, the global church. It's actually it's what we want.
Yeah.
It's our desire.
100%. Cool, man. All right, let's keep rolling. Next question, Sean.
The mentorship package sounds really interesting, especially the access to industry experts and creative feedback.
You sound very interested there, Sean.
Yeah.
Would you like to enroll? That's great, Sean. You're doing great.
We're gonna try and get Shawnee over and sign up for one of the packages.
How would this benefit someone on my creative team, or even myself?
Oh, Sean.
Oh, okay. Are you adding this one in there?
I think Sean maybe wrote
if
this in the DMs.
If we're looking to grow in our creative abilities.
If we're looking to grow in our creative abilities. Yeah. I mean, the mentorship package I'm super passionate about. As I said before, and again, go back to the first 2 episodes if you want to go deep. But at a high level, the mentorship program is our passion to help, you know, local creatives grow, be inspired, you know, lift their eyes above what can be in the trenches, you know, a lot of the time, and lift your eyes above and go, wow, I can really use my gift for something bigger than me. I can really use my gift to see people come to the kingdom. And so obviously, practically, the mentorship program will be a part of one of the packages you choose. And each package, depending on the size, you can send a certain amount of your creative team, or maybe somebody that you see might have a lot of potential in creativity, and you send them. And practically, look, they get access to the Discord channels where everybody's going to be all together, and we all get to chat through what's going on, the wins, the losses, the prayer needs, you know, just like sometimes it's good just to know that, like, I've been sitting here editing for 2 weeks straight. Sometimes it's nice to know that you've been editing too and you're feeling it, and we can both kind of like feel the pain together. Or sometimes it's good to know, oh, hey, I just won this epic job that, you know, I never thought I'd get, all thanks to Josh encouraging me or whatever. It's community, you know, it's creatives coming together. I don't know of too many spaces that are dedicated to creatives coming together, you know, encouraging one another, not being worried about like, oh, will they take my client? Will they take this person? Oh, and being, you know, worldly about it. No, come together as a kingdom group of people to encourage one another and help grow. So there's that element. There's the element of having one-on-ones monthly as well. We've set up a plan where once a month we can have one-on-ones, and whether it's in person or on Zoom, and you can practically bring your ideas to us. So, hey, Josh, I've got this plan to edit this video because we want to do X, Y, and Z. And then Josh can provide expert level feedback to me as I'm working on a project. Or maybe it's like, hey, Josh, I want to go freelance. What would you suggest for me to go and launch out my freelance business, or whatever it is? So there will be one-on-one access, like true, when I mean mentorship, true mentorship. Yeah. It's going to be with myself, with Josh, with one of the team. And, you know, my heart as well is to bring in experts from all around the world that we're meeting all the time. Yeah. We're connecting with all the time, you know, from the likes of, you know, Brady Shearer and like Ezra Cohen and all these guys and girls. I want to bring in and share knowledge together. Because, if you're really truly kingdom minded, you want to share and you care about the equipping of the saints together.
It's true. It's like the lifting up. And it's like, I think it's also, to be clear, it's like you might have a team and you might not have anyone like on staff, for example. This isn't just for church staff.
No.
It's like you might be like, you know what, we've got Kingdom Creatives doing all this stuff for us, these graphics, whatever it is.
The assets, the videos, the screens,
it's like
the social
we
media.
also have this 18-year-old kid who he's just having a go.
Yeah.
But maybe this
he might be inherently really creative.
This could be a good facility to like also lift him up.
Yes.
That then then maybe one day you do hire him or he goes out. It's like there's so many benefits to it as well of actually
and just connecting with that community too. Like we might have jobs, we might have things coming up that we need help on. And it's kind of like, hey, who do we want to use? Well, we want to use kingdom-minded, Jesus-loving, people. And so what a great way for us to tap in together and help each other, know?
And like what I love is we met with the church just the other week and they said one question they had was like, we really value always giving an option for our volunteers if they want to serve, they can.
Yeah.
Like, is there space for them? I'm like, definitely there's space for them to come alongside of us.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yep, completely agree. I mean, as well, I just wrote here as well, like access to Q&A sessions, kind of doing like group Q&A together, one-on-one monthly reviews, but then also, eventually hot off the press, we may want to gather in a more formal capacity potentially in the future if you're catching my drift. So, we have events, live events. We might want to do a conference one day. We might want to actually, really come together as a creative, just kingdom-minded, Jesus-loving creatives coming together. I can see it, like I literally see it when I close my eyes. I can see this community coming together, helping one another, sharing in each other's needs, like the Acts Church, but together as kingdom people. So, I don't know if that answers the question. Let's go to the next one anyway.
Thanks, Sean.
If we're considering partnering with Kingdom Creators, what kind of creative solutions or ongoing support can we expect to help us meet our ministry goals?
Well, I'll start. Obviously, we will have a few core packages. So let's get really practical in the nitty gritties. We'll have a few core packages that you subscribe to, which is operates as a monthly retainer. You sign up to a 6 or 12-month agreement. And that's saying, hey, we need at least 3 months to really get in and like work on what is it that your church believes, how can we best partner with you, and then like actually start working on things immediately. So there will be, 2 to 3 core packages, but then outside of that, there will be like custom enterprise packages where it's like, hey, we don't actually need X, Y, and Z, but we need A, B, and then we'll have add-ons as well. So that those, and we have all this, we haven't released it just yet. We are about to, but those add-ons you can select and go, oh, hey, actually we do need a youth camp promotional. We do need you to look after our entire, whatever outreach Christmas program or whatever it is. So there will be add-ons and extras, but I think at the core, it's going to be, you choose what retainer package you want and what best suits your church. And that acts as a monthly retainer. And then, there's core things as a part of that, but that's not to say, hey, we can't add or take or change or move things around. Yeah,
it's true. It's like the way it's set up is like those monthly retainer packages, the biggest benefit I would say of that is you basically have our ear the whole time you've got us.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yes,
yeah, Josh, like
output,
why can't I just do a project base with you?
Yeah, it's like the difference would be if you do just want to do a project, say you've just got one thing, like a vision series or something once a year that you're like, this is all we need facilitated, great. We'll come in, we'll do it, we'll deliver the deliverables.
Yeah, you get your changes, but it's very set and regimented because as anyone knows who, runs an organization, you need to make sure you're, being a good steward. And so like with retainers, we can allocate more resource and we can allocate more time and we can put more into it because we can project longer. Project to project, we kind of just have to have a set 2 changes, whatever it is, we do have to regiment in that time.
I think it's also like with being involved in churches for so long and still today, it's like we know how fluid it is to be in a church.
Yep.
It's not the easiest thing to book a meeting 6 months out, to hit the deadlines because then we're trying to book in the right time. But being the retainer, it basically we're with you. It's like, hey, things are changing, things are flowing. It's like we get in the conversations way earlier and where like our team is a lot more fluid for you. Our time is more fluid, all that stuff. So
that's a good way to put it.
That's probably the bigger benefit, especially if you're like, hey, we've only got like a part-time creative on staff, but we need constant support as well.
Yep. And knowing you've got that retainer, you've got the mentorship program, say they've just got a part-time person, well, we'd love to come and partner with them and like help them and be just an extension of the team. I've just written here, we've got a bunch of different styles. Obviously the enterprise, which is for your larger not-for-profits and ministries and churches, where you select, bigger packages, but then you've got, kind of package 1, 2, 3, going from all types of creative solutions, polished Sunday service content to video production, social media assets, graphic design, photography, you name it. You might need some new staff headshots. I don't know. There's 1,000 different things. But these packages, you'll be able to select what you need and what's most important to you and include that in.
I think just on that topic as well, there's like every month's different, right? Like, so that's why the retainer packages as well. Like when you see them, it's like we're trying to be like as broad as possible in them. It's like, hey, we can allocate this much time of like video content or whatever, but you can kind of like move it like, hey, we do just need headshots and a web page update this month, but next month we need a whole new series
That's
launched.
right. So you can move the resources over.
Yeah, it's like, it's more flexible as well. It's not like just this one thing, this is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
But you might know exactly what you want. So then that might
100%.
work way better for you to be like, I just need that.
100%. And to be honest, to reiterate, it's not just retainer or just project to project. And honestly, you might prefer project to project. That's fine. That's all good. But I think just knowing the difference that you get, like the difference between locking into just one project over, being with us for 6, 12, 24 months, whatever it is, you just get that relational capital built over time, and we can understand your church's mission so much deeper than just come in, film this. And that's fine. Again, project to project's awesome. We do that. But I think a retainer model really does feel like we're a partnership with you.
Yeah.
And I will say retainer models are significantly discounted. If we did project to project, they just are more expensive.
Yeah.
Retainer is always cheaper. It's always more efficient and effective in my opinion. So great. All right, let's go to the next question.
Every church has unique needs. How flexible are you with your services if we want to customize a plan or grow into more comprehensive partnership over time?
Yeah, I think we answered
answer
that.
that.
Again, we answered it.
We're so good.
Yeah. Look, our services are highly flexible. They're moldable. They're not supposed to just be like, you pay for this, you get a design. Like we do want it to be as much as possible, as flexible as possible. You might want to just start foundational and go, is this going to work for us? And I know for a fact it will. And once you do a few months of it, you might go like, okay, now we can upscale, now we can do more. So as your needs grow, or as your trust grows, or as, a lot of churches would, we're finding have never done this model before. So this is a whole new foreign concept that, you as the creative pastor listening to this might be fully on board, but your senior pastor, your accountant or your finance manager might be like, wait, what? Like, what are we doing here? We're not going to hire somebody, So like, I think this stuff takes time. And it takes trust to build. And if it starts with something small and we end to go bigger, great. Our heart is that we want to partner with you on the big things and the little things. And we want to steward your time, your resources really well. So that's our packages. We will, just to clarify, we will have some official packages very, very soon.
On the interwebs.
On the interwebs. We will have them posted and out there for you. So let's go. Next question, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
For churches on a tight budget, how do you help us maximize our investment? Can we expect measurable improvements in engagement or attendance for working with you?
I mean, okay, yeah. So I remember this question. As we've said, we obviously offer packages that can scale. They can start small, go bigger, start big, go smaller, start medium, and it's happy. Like we are flexible. This scale goes up and down. I guess to maximize in your investment, you just, sometimes you might do, for example, I'll give you a story. Sometimes you might do a testimony story and then you post it and it gets 4 views. We've had this with ministries and churches we've done. Sometimes you post a story that's you didn't think was as good or as impactful and it gets 4,000 views.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just time. Sometimes it's just playing with what works. Sometimes one month it might feel like, I feel like we didn't really get much or do much or get what we wanted. But the next month you quadruple down on that engagement or on that. And you feel like you might be maximizing your budget as they asked. So I think obviously the scalable packages help because you can scale up and down depending on which package you choose. And then just obviously with consistent high quality content and just some really thoughtful strategy that goes into what you're posting, what you're using, what you're creating, I think you will eventually maximize on that investment tenfold, in my opinion. And I think ultimately, just try us. Like I'm so confident. I'm so confident that if you just try Kingdom Creators for 2 months, 3 months, you will see the results, you know, like, even if you just signed up to the mentorship package, you know, I don't care. I don't care if you just signed up to just, you know, whatever it is, $300 a month, and you get all of this stuff part of the mentorship package. Just watch your creatives be reinvigorated, be re-enlightened again for the gospel and using their gift for him, you know? So it's a hard question to answer, but what do you think?
Yeah, I am, like you said, I'm actually quite confident in us, you know? It's like, I'm not just saying that. And it's also...
It's not our first year.
No, it's also understanding like, what is the desired outcome and what are we doing? Because I'm like, sometimes it might be like, are you just wanting to promo an event? So you just want to get people there. So is that our focus? Or it's like, there's a big difference as well between like a big giving vision series where you're like, you know what, this is our vision month where we're going to get our church to give and donate to these causes and these things. It's like, if we can effectively communicate that through a video or through this or that, it's like, you'll see that result. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to hide that, you know, it's like, but then other things are like, is your desire just to have like, you just need Sunday sermon slides. You know what I mean? The result of a Sunday sermon slide is like, could people read it? You know, it's like the desired outcomes are always going to vary as well. So it's like, you can't just put a pinpoint on one thing that like everything's going to enter like 10,000 people come to our church.
Yeah, that's right.
So like, that's not the nature. It's like,
you go try different things.
Yeah, it's the same as the body of Christ. You know, the function of the left arm and the right arm, they're all different.
Oh, now he's preaching.
You know, and it's the same with media. You know, it's like, what's the goal here? What's the desire here? And it's like, that's where our ear leans. And that's because we've been in church ministry for a long, not a long time. We're quite young. Well, I like to think I am.
Yeah.
But it's like, we get it. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the goal here? What's the actual desire? Is it bums on seats? Then let's do that. Is it like, so it's like trying to figure out the function of it is like, really? And that's our heart. That's like going to be our first question most of the time. Like, what's the goal?
Yeah. What's your goal?
Know,
and that goal might change and shift and be malleable. And that's important too.
Are we making a video to set up your sermon that you're going to come out to straight after?
Yeah.
Or are we making something that's only going to social media? Because then it's like, hey, we're going to want this video quite short.
That's right. Or just sit on the website or whatever. Yeah.
So
yeah, good thoughts.
All those things.
All right. Shawnee, what's the next question?
Thanks, Shauno.
Do you have any examples of testimonies from churches you've worked with?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, the one that comes to mind straight away would be a church we worked with last year. A bit of background. The senior, who hit me up first? I think it was who contacted me. Maybe it was the creative pastor or the youth pastor I had a connection with, and he goes, hey, we'd love to do something a little bit different for our giving month this year. And, you know, we've traditionally always done our videos in-house, but they're pretty average. You know, this is what he says. They're pretty average, you know, and I've been telling the guys we need to do videos, you know, to a higher production quality for so long. And now, you know, there's a chance to pitch. And so he said to me, my senior pastor's not sure. He's not sure on you, not sure on what you guys are doing, but he's happy to have a chat. So I jump on this phone call. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I believe in what we're doing. I know what we're going to do. And jump on this call. And initially he was very standoffish. Like, you know, I don't want to spend the money. I don't know how we can justify this. We've always done it in-house. Let's just do it in-house. And then through just a series of asking questions, like I remember one of the questions I asked was like, are you happy with what you've produced though? Because you've produced it, but are you happy with it? And he goes, oh, no, it's not the best quality. And I said, okay, so how would you feel if you had news stories this year that were like top quality, like you were watching Netflix? And he goes, oh, that'd be amazing. I think we'd have great impact. And I said, okay, well, my next question is, what do you want from this Giving Month series? He goes, I want our giving to go up because I want to see the kingdom expanded. I want to see more buildings, more people, you know, more homeless outreach. I want more money to come in because I know what we can do with it. I go, okay, why don't we partner those two things with really high quality, great storytelling that will help move people to go, oh, when we give or what we give is really making a difference. And he goes, oh, I need to think about it. I go, okay. So 2 weeks go by and he wants to do another phone call. He goes, all right, I now have a meeting with the board tomorrow. I just need to get some clarity. What's it going to cost? Yeah. You know, can you give me all the details again? I go, okay. So I give him all the details and say, you know, it's going to cost you, I think it was around 15 grand. And it was a Giving Month series where we did stories for 3 weeks. And on the fourth week, it was the big giving moment. And then we built the look and feel. We built the whole package around it. And he goes, oh, 15, I don't know how I could do that. I go, just take it to the board to see what they say. He goes, all right. And then he takes it to the board and he comes back. He goes, Sam, I got approval. Let's do it. And I was like, great. let's do it. And, you know, obviously being fully confident in our gifts and abilities and skills, I'm like, I know we can do this really well. So we go and film all the stories. You know, we do all the pre-production. We come together as a team. I get with everybody. We do pre-calls with all of the people, you know, the stories that we're filming, the testimonies. I'm like, we're good to go. So we go out and film it, gets approved. You know, obviously just love doing all that stuff. We get tears, we get laughter, we get everything. And then we pull it all together in post, and it was 6 weeks later. I think you and I had just gone overseas when they played it, and I just sent off the video the night before we left. And when we got back, I came back to an email, and he said, and I just said, oh, hey guys, how did it, because I didn't hear anything. Hey guys, how did everything go? Would love to hear how it went. He goes, oh, Sam, this month we tripled our giving to any other year, you know? And like people were really moved by the stories that were told. Now, was it us that made up the stories? No. Was it us that like manipulated to get people to give money? No. We just told the stories really well. And I had full confidence that if we could tell the stories really well, their church would be blessed and people would be moved to do something. And so, you know, that's just one story that comes to mind. Like, would they have told those stories? Yeah, probably. They already had them identified. Would they have told them as well? I don't think so. Just because we've got the expertise, this is what we do full time, you know, and oftentimes churches don't have the resources to do that. So that was just really cool to come back. And I remember, you know, one of the emails, the pastor's wife emailed and just said, Sam, we loved working with you guys. Like, you guys were just the best. You made us, because they did some piece to camera work too. They said, you made us feel so comfortable. You made us feel so like, this is great. You know, I just remember them being in front of the camera, being so nervous. And I was like, come on guys, like you can do this. Like just encouraging them, even just having that support too, I think was really valuable to them. So that's something that comes to mind. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
No, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. So,
your story is the best story.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. So I don't mean to take the limelight, but I just remember that was something that just brought a lot of joy to my heart, you know. And obviously a lot of the work we do for the not-for-profits and seeing, you know, the giving go up and seeing awareness, like for Ladybird Care Foundation, you know, helping bereaved parents or, you know, go through grief and we're able to do it an ad for them, and, you know, just seeing them be so happy and seeing them be so, you know, oh, this is amazing, we can't wait to share it, you know. The investment is worth it.
Yeah.
And it might be a stretch, but you might be listening to this going, oh, we need to do something like that. Let's just start somewhere. If we start somewhere, I promise you, I'm so confident in the people that we've assembled to really deliver. So anyway, Shawnee, let's go to the next one.
If we're ready to move forward, what is the onboarding process like? How quickly could we get started?
Call me now.
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
So call me maybe, but call me now instead of maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think the onboarding process is as simple as this. If you're listening and you're interested, DM us, email us. We'll have all of the details straight after this podcast and on our website and on our Instagram. It's literally everywhere. Email us, call us, reach out. We want to have a meeting straight away. The meeting's free. Our initial conversation will just be to come and hang out. You might even get a special little box potentially, if you're lucky enough. But yeah, I mean, the onboarding process is simple. Reach out.
It's so true. Reach out, and we just want to chat, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to get to know you, your church, what your goals are, what's your desire.
And maybe if it's not something you're ready for right now, maybe it's something you're ready for in 12 months. At least you know you've met us, you know who we are. Like, we'll come to you anywhere, Australia-wide, we'll come to you.
Yep.
Or if you're around, we're in the Brisbane area, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, and then as far west as the Lockyer Valley. In person, but we can definitely come and meet you wherever
we'll
you are.
We'll jump on a Google call, phone call.
Yep.
Whatever you want.
The
Just
joys
chat.
of our digital experiences is that we can meet online.
It's so true. And you may know exactly what you want, or you might know you just want something. It's like, we're happy to give suggestions, offer things, or you might just be like, hey, I just want to start with package 1. Does it include this? Yes, no, maybe. We'll chat it through.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I think that's all of our questions. Let's give a hand for Shawnee, who has made an introduction to the potty. First of many, I am sure. And Josh, thanks for...
I actually made my debut in the Uno episode.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
He was in it.
I was in it.
Physically.
That's right.
That's
I
right.
was
He was-
So if
physically-
you go back to episode 2 and you listen to more about the vision behind what we're doing, you will see Sean. So he may be a voice now, but you will see him.
You can put the voice to the face.
Yeah, and then you can AI it together, and he could be asking the questions in real time in your living room.
We should put him here in AI.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Right now.
Like this big.
Yeah, we could just do the cardboard cutout. Anyway, look, I thought that was important for us just to go through today. Do you have any thoughts? Like, what's rattling around? Like, It's a big jump for church.
Yeah, it
it
is.
can be a big jump for churches.
It can.
Can't it?
I'm like, it's different, I think is the best way to say it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's like, it's not a normal thing. Because like, as far as I've seen, it's like, I haven't seen any
No.
in Australia, and I might have just not seen it.
Yeah, maybe there is.
But in my experience, I've never heard of this,
No.
you know, and it's like, so like
And there's
with
no
other
like,
churches.
there's no like, you're not locking in for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like let's just do something together. Maybe it's just like that church I mentioned before. Let's start with a project. Like let's just start with something. You know, like we got a youth camp coming up. You know,
Yep.
again, that was another story we could share. I mean, there's so many things we could share, but
fully.
you know, let's just start with a project. Maybe if you're a bit hesitant or like, what's this about? Let's start somewhere. You know, we are really passionate about serving the body of Christ. And
So
as I've
true.
said in previous episodes, I take this very seriously.
Yep.
You know, when we treat the bride of Christ in a certain way, it needs to be done with respect, love, and with the mindset of like, we're in this with you. This is not to try and kick people out, to try and do the wrong thing. This is really to partner with your ministry, with your church, with your organization to see kingdom come.
Whoa.
Anyway, we're back
Huge.
next week with a big potty.
Huge.
So no more can be said, but it is going to be a big potty. So thanks for joining
one.
us. And yeah, thanks, Josh. Hey, thanks for joining us. Just remember, if you click that little subscribe button, it will help so much get these episodes out to people who need to hear it. And we know we receive messages all the time of like, thank you so much, exactly what I needed, exactly what I needed to hear. This is amazing. And so that's what that does. Would you also connect with us on Instagram, connect with us on our website, our email's on there. We would love to connect with you. What I'd also love for you to do is to jump into the comments on the reel and just let us know, who would you love to see on the podcast? Who's the ideal person to sit down for a chat on Kingdom Creatives? And yeah, we'll do our best to get them. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.